Hi guys. I like to give everyone a few minutes to join Thursday Night Live. How are you guys doing? Okay, put this here. Welcome. How are you? This is a live about mindset and manifestation. Really, it's more like the word manifestation I find is overused, and it's generally used for talking about things like a car, a text from your specific person, a job. But I don't feel like really that's what we're doing here. I feel like we're working on dream life creation. That's how I would call the work that myself and the queens who are in my group are doing. Hi, guys. And I just feel like it's really like extra empowering to read the changes that I read on the previous lives and to have this Facebook group where everybody gets together and what they're commenting on is their inner changes. It's not like, oh yeah, I manifested him and then he left me again 5 times and then I whispered in his ear. We don't do any of that stuff here. So if you're looking for that kind of stuff, this is not the right account for you. This is not the right kind of life. People tell me that my account is fairly different than other manifestation accounts. So I'm actually thinking of rebranding it under something else because I'm not really sure like it's really manifestation per se. It's mostly mindset, changing your mind about who you are and feeling this inner shift every day. And from this inner shift, you react differently to 3D, which is key to manifesting what you want, right? Definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. If you're in your current life and you're acting the same way every day and you're expecting different results, guess what? That's the definition of insanity. So this is why our work is centered around how is it we can improve our reactions to 3D? What is it we can do better? How is it? But it's all about us, our reactions, our premise, the way we start our day and everything like that, okay? Now, somebody has asked me again, and I talked about this many times, if you're doing my 60-day challenge and you miss a day or you miss 2 days, you have to start from the top. And then you also have to ask yourself, I have somebody who said, oh my God, I started like 9 times and I'm only in my first month, in my first 30 days. You have to really sit with yourself and ask yourself, why is it that you don't feel like doing this work? Why is it that you bought this program, the cost is nominal, but you spend $20, okay, that doesn't matter. But really the investment is like you sitting down every day for 15 minutes, doing every tab of the program. And why is it that you're not making that commitment to yourself? Because to me, this is the really interesting part, right? When I started this, I couldn't wait to do it. And, people are sort of taking the approach, there's something stopping me. There's something in me, I'm not really sure. So a lot of limiting beliefs are coming up. This is okay. Because you have a lot stored on you. You have a lot of layers on you, right? From your paradigm, from society, from everywhere. So, I just want to make the point that if you do miss a day or if you didn't do it for a few days, do start at the beginning. Review your goals, review the premises, see, maybe you need to change something. Maybe the affirmations that came to you don't really reflect the person that you are, right? Why is it that you're not sitting down to do the work? What is my routine during the day to manifest? I restarted my own 60-day challenge now. So what I do is there's 4 areas in the 60-day challenge where we sort of affirm, and then I take every one of those affirmations and I journal about it in a detailed paragraph. And then I also journal my dreams and I sit with myself and think about the meaning that the dream had in relation to either a limiting belief or in relation to a reaction that I had in 3D. And I think about what I can improve. And so this in the morning, it's sort of my coffee routine. It usually takes me 20 to 30 minutes That's sort of what I do in the morning. When you're asking during the day what I do to manifest, so once I set my goals for manifestation for a certain period of time, and as they get fulfilled, I replace them with different goals. So I always have goals, and everybody should always have goals to manifest. But what I do is I sort of remember all the time, like I have a specific way to remember, a personal way to remember where I am, what I'm doing, and sort of keeping my focus on the present and keeping my attention on my intention. When something rattles me in 3D, and it happens to all of us, I don't think we can avoid that. It's the amount of time you stay in that rattled feeling is what counts for manifestation. So the fact that I'm controlling in my interaction with people, in my interaction with the world, how much I let them affect me and my intention and take away my attention from where I'm focused to them, right? So my attention, your attention when you're annoyed with somebody, upset with somebody, is on them. It's not on you. That span is very small for me. And sort of this is what I do to manifest on a daily basis. It's, I wish it was a magical mantra, but that's not what it is. Your magical behavior to manifest is always controlling your reaction to your 3D. And you know what? If you can react much less than yesterday, you have a win. You don't have to all of a sudden say, oh, I'm doing Mona's program, so right now, I'm not allowed to get angry or upset. No. You're still going to get angry and upset. You're still going to, it's just, you have to have a point when you're like, yeah, before I would have done this and this and that, but now I'm already over it. And if you're at that point, that actually, it feels very good. It feels very good. It feels like you've conquered a piece of yourself that wasn't optimal. There's no better feeling than that. Oh, somebody else was just thinking about that? Yeah, because that will give you so much confidence for the future, for tomorrow, for next week. And then, as you progress slowly through this, the changes usually, I would say, you look back at yourself from 6 months ago. I wouldn't look back to last week or last 2 weeks, right? Because that is not, you can't measure that change that much. But if I look at myself, September 2000 and what was last year, 2022 to now, my life is very different, right? I was single back then, manifesting my SP, wasn't I? That's funny. Okay, so if you miss a day in the 60-day challenge, you start from the top for my Facebook group. Okay, I was just figuring it out on how to do the live on Facebook, because I just want to do one live maybe every 2 weeks or so for my Facebook group, where I go more in details and more like in personal life if people have more personal questions, because we're all very active on this Facebook group. So I'm going to do the first live this Saturday at 1 p.m., but I'll put it in the group. I think I figured out how somebody did a little test run for me, not from my account, but from their account, just so I can see how it works. I'm not very technical. So it's going to be the Saturday at 1 p.m. Bear with me. I just want to see sort of the structure, how it works. I've never done a Facebook live before, and I want to see if we can post it. Obviously, it would be only in the group. I wouldn't post it on YouTube, because it's just for the people who are doing the challenge. And I want to get in more personal details. That's why I don't want to make it public. 1 p.m. EST, yeah, but I'll put it on the Facebook group. Carla, I know you're there. What else did I want to say? I have scammers. I say that on every live. If you get a message from me, it's not from me. I never message anybody offering tarot readings. Somebody tells me all the time, oh, you have a fake account. Yeah. I don't know what to do about it. Right? Be wary out there on the internet. The manifestation for the next little while is an extra $2,000. Okay, I did a video about this earlier this week, I think. And that's what we're manifesting. Everyone, I made it public, but it's for everyone. I am looking for the first testimonial of somebody having manifested an extra $2,000. When you get your $2,000, please send me an email Or if you listen to this and you get it, please don't forget to send, because you're increasing. I know people will get this. You're increasing faith for everybody when you're doing this. Okay, so see it as, if the idea was planted in you by watching my content, you have a responsibility to share it with me so that I can share with everybody else who needs a boost in faith. Please share your success stories with me. All right. I told you guys how I manifested the white doves on the last live, right? Because I went to an unexpected funeral and they released 2 white doves, and the 2 white doves was one of the manifestation I put to my group 4 weeks ago. Never haven't seen a dove in my life. And I told you guys, like in that moment, I knew, this was my manifestation, right? So I want to tell you guys that when you get some of this manifestation, I know for you, sometimes you search for it. And the point is, it's not going to come when you search, or it's going to come half-assed. You know what I mean? It's going to be like, I don't know, two white birds, but it's not going to be like the exact manifestation. And so the birds and everything else we're doing again is practice for the real manifestation, because you're not supposed to accept anything less than what you want. So I wanted to read this testimonial from a queen who manifested the Joker. So a few weeks ago, I launched a group manifestation. I said, you have to see the Joker. And that's all I said, right? So some people came back with the picture of... what was the guy's name who passed away, who played the Joker in Batman? I can't remember his name right now. But and some people came with the card, the playing card, and then we just forgot about the Joker. So then somebody posted this on the Facebook group yesterday, I think. Today I got my Joker card. I had a clinical exam today. So one of the things she's doing is she's studying to become a doctor. So she went to just like, I guess, a clinical exam room where she works at the hospital. And she says, I found it in the sink of the hospital room that she was in to do this clinical exam. Wasn't expecting that. I was amazed, and I will never question manifestation again. I didn't take a picture because phones weren't allowed in the exam, but I was so amazed I almost cried. It was like a sign from the universe. So this is really what you guys have to feel when your manifestation comes to you. So do not accept anything other than this feeling, and do not accept anything other than you weren't looking for it. It found you in a way that you couldn't have predicted. These are the true manifestations. These are the real manifestations, right? She's going about her life being a medical student. She goes there and she sees the Joker in this. Like it's not, it wasn't in her pack of cards and it fell off when she opened the drawer. It wasn't like that. It was like completely like my dove story. Like it was just something I couldn't have orchestrated at all. Like even if I looked for it, I couldn't have done it, right? So this is what I want you guys to look for. I want you to look for that confirmation that is so rooted in it would have been impossible for this to manifest by just me trying to look for it, by me activating my reticular brain system. What they call that? I think it's the reticular activator, where your brain starts looking for your manifestation. And this is why you see a Mercedes on the street, because you want a Mercedes. But that's not the same as when you get your manifestation. So I want you guys to know that difference. What else I wanted to talk about? If anybody's had a manifestation like that, like really, really obvious and in your face, completely unexpected from one of our group manifestations, please email it to me or put it on the Facebook group. I love the stories. And again, I find it so inspiring for everyone. Yeah, the reticular activating system. Well, the reticular activating system is useless if I want a Mercedes and all I do is see 10 of them every day on the road, right? That's not what manifestation is all about. Manifestation is creating it in my reality for me, right? It's not just seeing them. So, okay. So somebody asked me on my Facebook group, can you please post something on the ascension on the 23rd of September? Some say we are receiving a software download. Guys, I don't follow any astrology per se. The only thing that I have is a new moon ritual. I've had that since I was a child. Somebody much older in our family taught me to do that for new moon, to use water to set an intention. And so I don't follow any astrology. I don't know anything about this downloads, I'm sure energetically there's a huge shift right now on the planet. We can all sense it, right? And we can sense it as we're separating from the people who don't think this way, from the people who think this way. And it's more and more obvious, that we're feeling this energetic shift. But whether it translates in astrology or in whatever else they're saying, what use, in my opinion, my question would be, what use would be to know if you're receiving a software download? This creates unnecessary expectation. Okay, you wake up September 24th and be like, okay, what have I downloaded? If I haven't downloaded anything, I didn't even dream last night, then something wrong with me. Or, maybe I wasn't updated. Maybe I wasn't upgraded. Maybe now I have a concern I didn't have on September 22nd. Get it? I don't understand why, I would spend my energy anticipating a download in my consciousness. May come, may not come. The work is really about changing your inner state and controlling your reaction to 3D, right? That's all you got to do. You got to think of this life as a dream. And the best dreams you can have is where you become lucid in dreams. And when you become lucid in dreams, that feeling that you're controlling everything that's happening to you. You don't control quite everything. You don't control the scenery, but this feeling that you're powerful and that you function in the space according to your will. You function according to your will. It's such an empowering feeling. And if you could only just wake up, not wait for your download from September 23rd, not wait for anything on the outside, do it for you, but you do it yourself. Okay? It's, to me, this is what's priceless. Just walking in the world knowing, you were meant to have a good life. You're not going to fall prey to collective consciousness. You're not going to react to 3D more so than you need to for a few seconds maybe. And you're going to retain this control. And in this control, there's so much peace. Because no matter the outcome, you'll be okay. Everything always works out all of the time. And you always get what you want or better. Or better. You got to make room for or better. Okay? So that was on the astrology. Somebody else asked about if somebody posted on the Facebook and said, is anybody else into reading and tarot and doing these things? And I guess I allow that post. It's fine. Some people are, some people aren't. If they want to talk about it for a bit, it doesn't bother me. I don't do any readings and I don't get them done myself. Like I said, I believe it is possible for people to read your energy at a certain point in time. But what happens is there is an infinite potentialities of futures for you, right? Quantum theory is already pretty much accepted, mainstream science almost, with the parallel realities, or it will be in the next few years. So if there's this infinite possible futures for you based on the decisions you make, a person who reads your energy can only see where you're going sort of based on that energy. And I guess if you're using it in that way to say, okay, I don't want this future, so I'm going to choose another one. If my energy right now, let's assume the reader is, of course, 100% real, right? And can actually see energy and interpret that energy. And they give you some news such as, you're going to meet a man who's going to treat you badly, or, anyways, they give you some news you don't want. Okay, you can use that to interpret, this is where my energy is, and based on that energy, I'm attracting that future. But if I change my energy, I will attract another future. So I want anybody who gets readings to understand this thing, okay, especially if you're following my account, if you're into my stuff, your future isn't set in stone, okay? It's not set in stone at all. Use your readings or whatever you're doing to fine-tune your energetic system towards the future that you want to have. So if you don't like the reading, if they're telling you, no, you're not getting married for 7 years and you want to get married next year, it doesn't mean that you can't get married next year. It only means there's probably a limiting belief in you that based on that limiting belief, it's reading energetically, it's repelling people, it's repelling the energy of marriage and commitment, and it's repelling those things for you. You should come back and sort of ask yourself, what is that limiting belief? How can I deal with it? What can I do to stop it and stop letting it affect me? That's what I wanted to say about readings. I want to know if you guys understand that, if you sort of understand the position, if you have any questions about it, let me know. But I think this is very, very clearly where I am, and I don't get them. To tell you guys the truth, once I set goals and premises and things that I want for my life, I don't deter. Like, I don't allow anything to deter me from that, from those things. And I know for a fact they're going to come to pass eventually. Eventually, I'm going to get that or better. Somebody asked me on this live, what is one thing that I found really, really difficult to manifest in my life, or where I find I have a challenge in my life? And I said, I don't want to talk about that. I don't want to talk. But, then I thought about it and I was like, I've shared with you guys many success stories, and I don't think I mind sharing, sort of, because I know the only thing that's preventing me is limiting beliefs and thinking it's not in my control. So I'm going to tell you my biggest manifestation challenge when it comes to something that I've wanted for a long time, but I haven't yet manifested, is I want to live in America, and I don't yet live in America, and I don't know how to make that happen. And the problem is, so I'm a Canadian citizen, I live in Canada, and the problem is, I think, is that I'm trying to control the how. And based on how my life is structured and, wanting this for like 10 years, I'm trying to figure out, I know that's really the problem. How can I, and in trying to figure out the how, I'm only running into reasons why I will never be able to, or I'll be able to when I'm retired, but I won't be able to right now. And that's sort of my biggest challenge. And other people sort of want to live in other countries and, they have the same problem. But, for me, it's been up there on my list for years. And you guys know that I've shared many stories. I've manifested whatever I wanted in my love life, financially, career, look-wise. I've been the same weight that I set myself, to the dot for over like a year and a half now. I've done all these things, pretty much all the travel that I wanted, and more so that's coming up. But I just haven't figured out how I can live in America. And yeah, it's coming. I know it's coming. It's coming as soon as I let go of trying to figure out how. What would you do in America? I'd live my life in a beautiful way, same as I do here. It would just be a warmer climate and different set of opportunities. I think it will happen for you. Yeah, thank you. Send me positive thoughts for that. But it's going to happen as soon as I let go of the how. Again, there's just too many people in my life right now to sort of figure out how to handle all that. And unless I release this, which I haven't, I wouldn't know. All right. What else we're talking about? Somebody says, okay, this was on my Facebook group just now, actually, a few minutes ago. Since we are all manifestors, do you think hexes and curses are real? If they are, can we manifest curses to break? And what I want to say about hexes and curses, this is sort of goes back to the same discussion with the astrology and the tarot. And the moment you ask, so this question wouldn't even be in my awareness, Queen. This is what I would say, because it's not in my awareness, those things can't work. They only exist when you acknowledge that they can exist. You know what I mean? They can only exist if you acknowledge that something like that is possible. So because they don't reside in my awareness, I have nothing to do with them. I would suggest this is sort of the best way to deal with things that you find are paranormal but not under your control, or you think. I would assume if they do work, they would work in the same way you manifest the SP. When you manifest a text from him, or you manifest him to come back 5 times with the whisper method, or you would manifest, because there will be a point in time that if you do something like a certain spell or ritual repetitively, you will catch that person's consciousness at a lower vibe than your consciousness at a certain point in time, and by exerting a massive amount of energy. And in that moment, they may fall prey to this curse, hex, whisper method, whatever it is, but you're not going to be able to sustain whatever you placed on them unless they believe in it. So if you're on the receiving end and you believe in this, I guess you finished, right? But usually with DSP, the reason they don't stay is because you're not, he doesn't come back and you're like, oh, I did the honey method and I put honey on my tongue and I made a cross and I whispered in your ear and this is why now you're cursed to be mine, right? So you're not going to tell him that. He doesn't know. He's not aware. So the spell unravels. Why the chat deleted my question? What was your question? I don't even know if my moderator's on tonight. So I want to see if I missed anything. That's sort of the discussion I wanted to have on curses, hexes, astrology, tarots, and readings and things like this. I want you guys, if you're doing the work with me, and if you're doing the challenge, if you decide to do something different, because whatever you've been doing, it is not producing results. If you want to do it with me, you need to put aside all of this stuff. Put them aside for the time that you're doing the challenge. Okay, because right now we really need to work on your mindset, and you really need to work on blending with the group energy. Just the group energy is going in a certain direction. So if you want to go in the same direction, put all the stuff aside, pull all the doubts aside, pull everything aside. Let's create a playlist with manifestation music in our Facebook group. Yeah, somebody should do that. Not me. Somebody else should do that. I'm all for that. Sorry, I'm just gonna turn my phone off. Okay, so I want to talk about a few interesting things tonight. One of the things, I'm part of a group that's called Dr. Joe Dispenza. If you guys don't know, but my work is inspired by Dr. Joe. I was at one of his retreats last year, and it really inspired me to put the collection of knowledge that I have out there and help other people. So Dr. Joe, I'm a member of a few of his Facebook groups. One of them is a meditation group, and somebody posted in there saying she was very, very upset with him. She was saying, do you guys know that if you want to volunteer at one of his events, you actually still have to pay? Like, you don't have to pay the full fee of the event, but you still have to pay. And, there was like 130 comments saying, and this person who put this comment about volunteer and you still have to pay, and, and she was basically saying this is beginning to, why is this guy making so much money? He's being greedy, So I actually felt compelled. I never comment online to people, but I felt compelled to just say, look, the incorrect assumption here, okay, please, this is why the spiritual community is mostly poor, so listen up. The incorrect assumption that you're making here is that if a person is good or spiritual or accessing higher realms and helping people, they should be poor. They're not allowed to make money, right? So if you go to a Drake's concert, you don't mind that Drake makes, 2 million, 3 million per concert. You don't mind that, right? You don't think that's weird. You don't think that's odd. He's made you feel good for 2 hours and you think it's an appropriate compensation for him, right? But if somebody like Joe Dispenza, if somebody like, I don't know, even a preacher like those guys online, Joel Osteen or whoever, right? If they make millions of dollars, there's something wrong with that. This is why the spiritual community is poor. They are actually having a bigger impact on people than Drake and, I don't know, Travis Scott or whoever's making millions of dollars. But you have to sit back and ask yourself, why is it that you don't feel that a spiritual leader deserves at least the same compensation as a rapper, the same compensation as an actor? Why is it that you think, it's the only reason you think that is because you believe people who are of higher consciousness should live in worse conditions than people you know are not such good people. And so if you identify yourself as a higher consciousness and above the collective consciousness, you are automatically going to attract more impoverished conditions, of course, because that's what you're thinking. That's what your subconscious mind is thinking. Celebrities also use the law. There's a lot of them that speak about it. Yeah, that's a separate discussion, Lucas. That's not what I'm discussing here. I'm discussing here, okay. And then somebody puts another comment on his post, which I want to read. I'd like to know, how much is he worth? That's a sign surely of how much he cares about his followers. How many millions do you need to be viewed as materialistic or self-serving? Listen to just the corruption in that question. How many millions you need to be viewed as self-serving, materialistic? What does millions have to do with self-serving? Why is it you can't serve others and make a lot of money? Think about it. Think about this. I actually have a meditation on your money concept. Maybe that's why you don't have any money. It's on my YouTube. I only have 2 meditations available, and this is one of them. I want you to think about these concepts a lot. Where is it that you think money is evil? Only evil people have money. And if you identify yourself as a normal person, a good person, you're obviously not going to attract any money. People ask me for more money content. This is priceless right now. I need you to think about who you think has the right to have money in this world. The answer should be everybody. Everybody. Let's see. I'm gonna make sure I talked about everything I have on page 1. Okay, so I want to talk a little bit about dreams, unless you guys have other questions on this content or the money. Somebody posts, I have a dream pin in my Facebook group, and somebody posted, I read what everybody posts, but I can't answer everybody. But this is important for the group. She's saying, in the first few dreams after starting the challenge, my subconscious was showing me my fears and limiting beliefs. But now, the last 2 nights, I had just seemingly random dreams. I really couldn't connect it with the work until I sat down this morning to write down tonight's dream. I was in a cold country with lots of snow and auroras and crossed wooden stick. When it suddenly dawned on me, those are images from my life and images. My subconscious has understood. As I reread yesterday's dream, it's not actually random. It's from my pictures. So basically in my challenge, I have a section called Life and Images, where you put in images, what is it that you're trying to manifest? She's saying she dreamt of scenes from those images. And you know, like this is actually very important, because I told you guys that I work to impress my subconscious. And every time I have a dream about the work that I've done, it comes to pass every single time. And I've tested this even with my body, you know, even before I was the weight that I told my body to be, you know, I basically dreamt about it. I dreamt on getting on the scale and seeing that exact number. I told you guys I had a rash I was trying to heal for years. I don't know if it was psoriasis or something like this, but it's completely gone once I had a dream about it, about the area of my body and being cleared, because that's what I was impressing my subconscious. It's been gone for like 2.5 years now. You know, it's once your subconscious understands it, it will find a way to bring you the how of that manifestation. This is why I pay so much attention to the dreams. Dreams are either a limiting belief coming to the surface that you need to think about, address, conquer, or it's the indication that your subconscious has understood your instruction. And both of those things are very important. Hold on, let me decline these calls. Guys, please don't call me. I don't take calls during my lives. So that was on dreams. Please keep track of your dreams. Keep track of whatever affirmations you're doing. How do they connect to the dreams? Whatever, or the dreams a lot of the time show you the opposite of what the affirmations you're doing. So I just want to make sure you guys are keeping track of that and are taking input from that and thinking about it. Listen, this work is not, like I said, it's not a magical mantra you repeat and everything you want falls in your lap. You guys already tried all that. It didn't work. If you want lasting changes and if you want changes that, you know, you are effectuating, are coming to pass because of the work you're doing. Those are the only changes that you can keep in your life. Have you had prophetic dreams? By prophetic dreams, you mean things that are coming to pass, things that have happened? Yes. I think everybody who's in this work has had at least one of those dreams like this. Nothing major, like, I dreamt somebody was going to die and they did. Nothing like that. I've had dreams of events that have happened, and I've actually had dreams where I don't know if I don't remember all of them, but I would see something in real life and I was like, I've seen this before. I think I've seen it in a dream. And I have that moment where I can't really remember the dream that I've seen it in, but I know for a fact I've dreamt it. And I just, sort of have to think, where else? Like, I know this is not something that happened. It's not like a deja vu. It's just something that has been shown to me before. And I did I tell you guys, there's a difference between things that are meant to happen and things that are meant to be, right? So, some things are meant to happen to evolve your consciousness. And those are like, if you pay attention to your dreams and you understand and you know where you have limiting beliefs, you sort of know what you're about to face. Because it has to do with those limiting beliefs that you no longer want to live by. When I was 13, I dreamt of a teacher, and then I met her 2 years later. I was shocked. I love that. I love that. Don't be shocked, guys. Just be like, yeah, this is normal. Normalize it, and your subconscious will show you more. Now, in this case, I want to say, when we dream, our subconscious has access to those potential futures that I was talking about before, and parallel realities they call them, but I call them potential futures. Okay, and then they pick elements from those potential futures and then they show it to you. Now, in this case where you dreamt of a teacher, it doesn't really seem, unless that teacher has had a really massive impact on you, or perhaps it's a person that really influenced you. I don't really see, don't attribute meaning to everything like this, because then you're going to drive yourself nuts thinking like, oh, I saw this. Like, what if you see something negative in a dream? Don't think that every dream is prophetic. Some dreams are just dreams. Or remember, if you dream of something you don't like, you automatically must tell yourself, as soon as you wake up, preferably before you get out of bed, that's sort of a potential future or anything like that you're not acknowledging. You're allowed. This is your free will life, right? You're allowed to say, no, that's not the direction where I'm going. That's not, I don't want that. Most of the times I can remember my dreams, even though the moment I wake up, I would have lost them. Try to remember them before you open your eyes. That's what I do. I kind of sit there with my eyes like, and just like, what did I dream? Come on. Remember, what did you dream? Somebody says, how can you tell the difference between an inspired and non-inspired mind-caused action? For example, if you're manifesting a new job or lottery win or something else, do you apply for all the jobs that you kind of like or buy random tickets when you feel like it? Or is the inspired feeling more special than just liking somebody or having a random thought idea? So I want to tell you guys, inspired action should feel somehow anomalous to your regular life. I've done a video about this, I think on Tuesday. And basically I'm saying there has to be a prompt that's unlike any other prompt in your life. Okay, so whether that prompt is an idea in your head, whether that prompt is somebody saying some words that you were thinking about, and in that moment you knew that they couldn't possibly think that, whether that prompt is seeing something written somewhere that is like you're thinking of, I don't know, in this case, she's saying playing the lottery. And then in that second, you see play lotto here with an arrow, something like that, right? So it has to be something that's anomalous to your day-to-day routine. And so that's the first prerequisite. And then the second one is it should be easy. Like it really should be easy. It's not, you won't chase it. You won't have to follow up 3 times. You won't have to do a lot of work. Remember, guys, when you have to do a lot of work to make something happen, it's not meant to happen. Okay. Or maybe it's, no, I'm going to stick with it's not meant to happen, but your free will, you can still select to make it happen. Right? You know, that guy who's hurt you 5, 6, 7 times is not meant to happen. Why would that be in your future, that you're hurt over and over so many times, stumped so many times, you know? Why is it? But you're making it happen. You're making it happen, and you're actually chasing after it and doing manifestation work around it. And it's hard. It's hard, right? It's you have to go hard. It's supposed to be easy. Even the job thing that she's asking about, even I had somebody, I want to say, I didn't get to read this last week, or maybe I did, I don't remember, because I had it on the notes from last week. Hello, Queen, I hope you're doing well. So I've got 4 job offers after being jobless and struggling with money for a few months now before starting the challenge. So 3 of which can be considered the same job, because it's, I don't want to say what it is, right? I don't want to read it, but it's just different departments, blah, 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 blah. She's telling me. Okay, so this is the difference between manifesting from 3D versus manifesting from the energy work that you're doing. She got 4 jobs, right? 4 jobs, and they're all kind of the same. She doesn't know what to pick. She's asking me what to do. And then she puts a PS in her email, and she said, I set my alarm to go on every 30 minutes so I can bring my attention and intention back to the affirmations I'm doing and even the premises. So I'm repeating them and thinking about them every 30 minutes. Maybe that's why you got 4 jobs. It's not a bad idea, setting a phone alarm to tell you something. And I heard this tip before. I used to have it. I don't have it anymore because I don't need it anymore. But I used to have an alarm that said, today's a day for winning, or you put something positive, and that alarm is on like every, I don't know, 6 p.m., 7 a.m. when you wake up, whenever you want to see it. So, you know, use of phone alarms. Here's a good use of technology. Always reminding you of the premise of your life. What is the premise of your life? Have you asked yourself? What is the premise on which you live? What are the few premises? If it's not the premises in our 60-day challenge, which I find very positive, what is the premise of your life? Most people's premise is, I have to work hard to make something. Even if I work hard, I'm not gonna make it. The markets are gonna crash. The economy is bad. Biden has expired. Trump is a jerk. China's taking over Russia. Who's gonna like me? I'm overweight. The premise is nobody loves overweight people, and nobody, you know, I don't know, over 50, over 60, over 40, and you know, it's over for me. People like me, you don't identify. That's the premise of most people's life. Okay, let's just sit with ourselves and ask ourselves, what is the premise of your life? And those are the premises under which we operate, that we are subject to the world powers, and we function within their game. And even though, you know, I know people who have it really good in this life. They have a really good family income, 6 figures that doesn't start with a 1 or a 2. And still all they can talk about is political situation, economical situation, things that really, like, you look at them, you're like, but it's not really affecting your life or your business, on who the president is. You know, in the end, you're doing this business irrespective, you know, but they're consumed by the game. Okay, the premise of their life is that it's going to eventually end up affecting them somehow. And eventually it does. It's usually with their health. If it's not going to affect their money, it's usually with their health. Those are the people that, you know. Anyway, let's not talk about that. Let's not contemplate those possibilities. But I'm telling you, you really have to examine the premise of your life. My focus is doing good in this life. Mine too. That should be everybody's focus. You're doing good by yourself and by others. You're not just doing good for others. You gotta do good by yourself as well. You gotta do good by you because you matter. Okay, where was I when we were starting to talk about jobs? Yeah, so inspired action, remember, anomalous, and it should feel easy. And never regret something that didn't happen, right? If you went for job interview 3 times and they picked somebody else. Don't think that, oh yeah, I lost that opportunity. It wasn't meant for you anyways. It wasn't, sit with yourself and be like, how did this thing even come? Was it this something that I had to apply? I had to like follow up on 3 times. I had to like, is it a 3D thing? Because I'm looking for my 5D thing. I'm looking for those 4 jobs coming at the same time. 4 job offers, guys. That's gotta be a record. I love it. All right. So let's end with talking about the SP a little bit. As you guys can imagine, I get a lot of SP stories, and I want to choose my words on how I'm going to talk about the SPs. So the reason you end up having an SP situation, what is understood by an SP situation, is probably because you mispriced your heart to begin with. What does it mean? Well, your heart should have a price, just like your time has a price, except your time has a price in money. Your heart should have a price in what you get out of it also, right? So who you give your heart and for what price matters. So the price of your heart should be consistency, commitment, should be, that's sort of like the bare minimums I'm talking about for, let's say, me giving my heart to a man would be, you're seeing me exclusively. I'm talking about my heart, not like going on a date. I'm talking for me to give you my heart. I gotta have A, B, C, D from you before I give you my heart, right? So the reason you end up, thank you for that heart. The reason you end up having this SP situations is because you mishandle that to begin with. So you've allowed a man or a woman to treat you a certain way for 2-3 years. And because they treated you a certain way to 2-3 years, see, the problem is not, maybe you can erase that and start all over. But the problem is they know a version of you that is hard to erase from their minds when you're doing this work, even if you're doing this work. This is why I always say it is so much easier to start this work when you're single or when you're looking forward to meeting someone versus trying to manifest someone back, right? When you is that person going to come back? They're going to come back. Basically, almost 100% are going to come back because they come back based on your energetic shift. So in the story that I want to talk about, this queen, it's trying to manifest the person back. She hadn't talked to him since earlier this year. He comes back to her as soon as she starts this work. And, we're working really good on her. And then she was very committed to herself. We're doing some one-on-ones. We're talking about certain things. And, she has exercises to do and certain things to do. And she fulfills them all. Lo and behold, after months and months, he comes back and he's quite taken by her. He's, what was I thinking? What was I doing? What was I? And then, because I think this is because she had just started the work, she didn't really get a chance to get really into it and commit to herself. See, guys, when you start doing this work, you have to prioritize yourself first. But she falls right back into that old self. And I'm watching this from an observer perspective, and it's tragic, right? Because I see with every step, it's like, oh, but why this? Like, he's initially smitten, and then he's like he's found a new and improved version of this woman he knows he loves, but he can't really make it work with her because of whatever his reasons are. And then she's slowing, going back on the way she was acting all along, and her insecurities pop up, and finally something happens in which she's acting extremely insecure. And this is how she's starting her email to me, telling me, I know this was a mistake, but this is what I've said. This is what I've done. I just wanted him to reassure me. Instead of that, he told me it's like over forever this time. I want you guys to understand that these changes that we're doing here, the aim of these changes is not to get a man back, is to make these changes permanent in you. Now, once you make these changes permanent in you, that man will have no choice but to come back or to beg you for another chance, or a better man will show up. But what you cannot do is treat this as, yes, I've changed. I know my energy now that I'm in a different vibe. He likes me. Boom. No, if you put him back on the pedestal. That's why I almost wish every time a woman is starting to do this work that the SP will not show up in those 60 days, in those 30 days. You need that time where you're convinced that any outcome is okay. You gotta be convinced that it's him or better, that really the outcome for you can only be as you write about it, you have to feel the inner shift, because if you don't feel the inner shift, you're not gonna be able to sustain the him who knows the old version of you. Okay, but queens, please remember, ideally you don't end up in a situation with SP. And I know, it's pretty much 50-50 with the women in our group. Like, some of them are just single, but they've been single for a while and they don't have an SP in mind. But some of them are heavily involved, like in their minds, in their hearts, with this SPs. But the story, the social story, doesn't match the intensity of their feelings, right? Because the way these SPs have been treating them does not match with the love that they're returning for the SP, if that makes sense, right? So this is why I want everyone to think, whether you're single, whether you have an SP, what is the price of your heart? Please sit with this question. Think about it. And let me know. Let me know you thought about it. Put it on the Facebook group, send me an email, just say I thought about it. And I feel like I was giving away my heart too cheaply before. Or, I'm not, what is the price? If your price for 9 to 5 is 60,000 a year, 500,000 a year, whatever it is, $1,000 an hour, whatever it is, what is the price for the heart? Okay. And by the way, this has nothing to do with income. I find women, actually, the women who know how to climb, let's say, the corporate ladder or something like this, they, love wise, they go backwards for some reason. Like, their relationship intelligence goes backwards, they're very accomplished, and yet the relationships are major heartbreaks, major social mistakes. Okay, I fall in love with this guy who's married, and then I fall in love with another guy who's married. Like, what are the odds of that? And again, it's never judgment. It's sort of like inner reflection on where is it that limiting belief, why is it there? Yes, your heart is very priceless. This is what I'm saying. Like, you gotta give it for a lot. And my heart, it was available for a certain type of behavior. And, certain type of behavior, certain type of return, right? Your time is an investment. Your heart is an investment. What are you trying to get out of it? Always when you're dating somebody, what am I going to get out of it? And if all you want is a really nice warm body on top of yours for a night, go ahead. I'm not here to judge you at all, but make sure that's what you want. Make sure you're okay with him, with not knowing whether or not he's going to call you tomorrow. If you're okay with that, be my guest. But you see, most women, what they do is they go ahead and cross their fingers. They hope he's going to call tomorrow. They hope it's going to work. I gave him, my heart, my body, my thing. I had a connection. We felt something, no? How can I make my finances as good as my marriage? Guys, we're all more inclined towards one area of our lives than to another area of our lives. Just so you know. It's always one thing that's missing. This is why I gave you the example of the career women, of which I know two who are making six figures that don't start with a one. And both of their love lives is a mess. One is divorced and one is never married. And they made money happen, but it's sort of a lack of balance, I find. It comes from misinterpreting of importance, because what we don't realize is that we have to have all these areas figured out in order to be happy. If you're just making money and you don't have a spouse, you're not going to be happy long term. I don't think so. I don't know anybody who is, and I know people who are making money. And then again, if you find the love of your life, but you can't afford to eat anything but canned beans, that's not going to be happiness either. My SB has got no contact, and I am doing best to stop thinking of him. Block, delete, erase. Know that better is coming. He's probably going to be back, but that has nothing to do with where your mind should be, because you're not manifesting him and you're not deciding now if you're going to take him back. When he comes back, you're going to decide then, based on the situation you are in then, whether or not you want him back, right? I don't know, I want my SB back or not. Maybe 3, 4, 5 months from now, I would have found the love of my life and, have a better connection. Maybe I'm allowing myself the possibility that I'm worth more. Hello? And when he comes back, I'll see. Right now the work's about me. Get it? It's about me. How can I complete all the areas of the challenge? What day are you on? What day are you on? I haven't seen you on the Facebook group too much or at all. I'm not sure I remember. I know the queens who are active. I know them by their first name, unless you go by a different name. It's who's to blame for failed relationships? Because you're a man, I'm going to say you, obviously. Do you like that? King, it's always us. I blame myself for everything that has failed me in the past, because even if the guy was a jerk, I should have assessed better. I should have had checks in place, not given my heart, right? Who's to blame for that failure? Me. Did I go in too fast? Did I go in the wrong way? Did I not communicate my needs? Did I not make it clear? Who's to blame? Who's to blame? See, if I say I'm to blame, it's easy because then I can do it better. If I say they're to blame, well then who's to say I'm not going to meet somebody exactly like them and they're going to do the same exact thing to me? Maybe I can never be happy because it's always up to the other person. Logan, you restarted the challenge. You're on day 12. Yeah, it's the amount of time, unfortunately, it's not up to me. When I say I have a 60-day challenge, everybody feels and sees changes in the first 60 days. But you guys have to realize that it all has to do with how fast you identify your paradigm, how committed you are to stay in the energy of our group. This is why I'm always present with you guys. Like I'm present 2-3 times a week. I have this Facebook group going on. You have to ponder on these words. You have to do the meditation that I put out there on the concepts. Your mind has to constantly be in this. And your paradigms will surface. When they surface, you got to do work on them, which I can't do for you. If they surface and you want to talk to me, that's different, but I can't do it for you, right? You have to deal with everything that comes up. And a lot of people have a lot more trauma in some areas of their lives, like financially, perhaps you saw your parents really loving each other, but, always struggling to make ends meet. So this is why your love life doesn't have a problem. You and your spouse can go through anything together, but maybe you just also observe that money is hard to come by. And that paradigm is very, very ingrained in your mind, right? You have to sit with yourself, do the childhood list of everything you've observed, everything that I'm talking about in the videos and that I talk about with my clients. You have to do all of this work to identify where the blockage is. The blockage is you. It's nobody else. It's you. You already know this because you're achieving results in other areas of your life. It's easier, like I said to Gord, right? It's easier if you think it's you. Let's see what else we have here. Who's to blame for failed relationships? Okay. Mona, I often feel like the universe won't listen to my requests because in the past, I asked for signals. Don't ask for signals. Don't ask for signals, okay? Just ask, keep your focus on whatever it is you want. Even religiously, you're not allowed to ask for miracles and signals. Do you know that? Like it's in at least two religions that I know of. Do not ask for signs. You're testing God. Just keep your focus on your intention. It will come to you. It will come to you when you least expect. Like if you go to the beginning of this live, which I'll post on YouTube, the story with the Joker card, the story with the doves, these are the kind of stories that will just, you'll have a moment like that. You know what I mean? It's not going to be a sign. It will just happen. You guys know that I manifested. I was in university and I had a test, like I had an assignment that was 60% of the mark and I didn't even know how to start it. It was a hard, like engineering kind of thing. It was like a 60-page thing. And I got the answers to it in the most unexpected way. So, I have a video about it and I talked about it before. But the point is, I didn't know how to start. I didn't ask for a sign that I was going to pass the course. I just channeled my energy on this is done and it's done. And, I got the written, detailed answers to that exact assignment fall on my desk. I can't make stuff up. All right. No signals? What about the 3-digit code? The 3-digit code is not a signal. It's an answer to yes or no questions that you're asking the universe. And it's also an acknowledgement of the days that you are in the flow when you don't ask a question. Do not use it as a fortune-telling device. Use it when you have a sincere yes or no questions. Okay. I got 4 job offers like that queen. Should I take the job at University of Pennsylvania? If I'm meant to take the job at University of Pennsylvania, I will see my code today. Is that the right way for me to proceed? Okay, this is what you use the 3-digit code for. I often also see my 3-digit code randomly when the universe acknowledges me. And I told my group, that's always the days when I'm in the flow. It never happens when I have a bad day. When I have a bad day and I know, like sometimes there's no sun outside and I don't know how to deal with that, like I get, and then I never see my code in those days. I never see my code. So use it for yes or no question. It's not a sign of anything except the universe being like, you're there and I'm here. Remember that. Okay, let's put our hands together for the 369. If you're on my Facebook group, don't forget, I'm having my first Facebook Live for the people in my group this Saturday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, but I will also put it on the Facebook group. The reason I decided to do it on Saturday is because I gave you guys choice Wednesday morning or Monday night. And then, because we have people from all over the world, the time-wise doesn't really work. During the day on a Wednesday, people in North America are working. And then at night, the people in Europe can't participate because it's too late. Thank you, Gord. No compliments necessary. I hope you got value out of this, out of my words, out of my energy, and out of this live. You manifested the Saturday live. Yeah, I had to do it right by you guys. Let's put our hands together. If you guys don't know me, I do the 369 tapping with I Am the Winner. We have a lot of lottery wins in our group. They're so far like under like $500 and under. No, somebody manifested like $1,200. I think that was the highest. But I know the millions are coming. Put your hands together for the 369. I am a winner. 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 I am a winner.